David Byrne from Talking Heads. I'm on television. Much music.
Composer, musician, filmmaker David Byrne is considered one of the most innovative people in popular music today. Hello there, welcome to the Blues Spotlight. I'm Kim Clark-Champness. David Byrne came to prominence with his art rock New York band Talking Heads at the end of the 1970s. They were one of the staples of the alternative scene, but with a number of hits under their belt, they broke into the mainstream, and they were one of the big draws throughout the 1980s. There are a number of side excursions for David Byrne away from his band, the Talking Heads. He ended up doing some movies. He also compiled some Brazilian compilation music albums that influenced his own music. He released a solo album, Rio Momo. By the 1990s, it looked like the Talking Heads were over, and officially this year, David Byrne said they were. He released his second solo album, Oh, and that's on the market right now. He says you got to do what gives you pleasure. He's in our spotlight, David Byrne.
What do you really want from a guy?
Someone who says gesund.
The record I've done, most of it is working with Latin musicians in New York, or musicians who have a history of playing Latin music in New York, and there's a few Brazilian things on it. So it's not exclusively Brazilian by any means. It's maybe only 20% Brazilian, maybe. But I think a lot of the music, as I said, has a similar kind of African heritage. And so it's not so strange to jump from one to another. A lot of the Cuban or Puerto Rican music has connections with the Santeria religion that play the rhythms on the bata drums. And it's in some ways very similar to the candomblé religion in Brazil.
Following your career all the way up from the very beginning to now, sometimes I get the feeling that the way you write songs has drastically changed, that maybe in the beginning you were writing from the head down, and now you're writing from the hips up.
A little bit, yeah. On some of the material now, the music is done first, and I'll write words or melodies that in response to the music. I think I've loosened up a little bit. I don't go in with it quite as planned out, maybe, as I might have in the past. I'll go in and just figure, I've done this long enough, I can make something work. I know how to pull things together and make something work, and I don't have to worry that I don't have an idea for the whole kit and caboodle at the beginning. I can feel my way through.
Is that a riskier way to work?
It's riskier, but it's more fun because you don't know where you're going to end up. The end is more thrilling because you didn't imagine it at the beginning. I think I kind of sponsored these Brazilian compilations and went down there and did all this because I'd heard first some records a number of years ago by some of the kind of well-known pop artists there, and I heard elements in their music where they were combining all kinds of stuff, where they, as I said, they'd obviously from what they were doing, they'd heard the Beatles, they'd heard Brazilian music, they'd heard Latin music, they'd heard classical music, all kinds of things they were combining, and as if there were no rules, that they could take a subject, take a style of music and take it anywhere they wanted to and make it beautiful and strong, and it was popular as well. It get played on the radio, and everybody from all walks of life would like it. And I thought, well, this is what pop or popular music really should be. It should have that kind of freedom instead of being boxed into little categories. And I thought, I wish our music could be like this, and it just gave me a great feeling. Besides liking the music a lot, it was inspirational in that way.
Do you have a feeling that comes from the 80s as things are wrapping up?
Oh gosh. I'm kind of too close. In the United States, it seemed like whatever the decade you love to hate. Ronald Reagan, and kind of the overriding emotion was greed, or whatever. So I kind of think, okay, that's past. I'm kind of looking forward to the 90s and some kind of rejuvenation.